Welcome to Physics by Aaryan. The people who don't know me, I am Aaryan Mehra, and I have done my master's in physics from IT Delhi 2 years back. Not last year actually. So I completed my MSc last year. Then I joined the PhD. I joined PhD in Indian Institute of Science in Nanoscience department, which is a very fascinating department. I think most of you must know about this department. It's one of the gem of India. So after 1 year of PhD, after everything going good, I decided that I enjoy teaching. So I quit my PhD and then I became a JEE advanced faculty in Bansal Pathshal. And now I am working as a teacher full time. So let's begin with CSIR Net session. In this session, I will be basically covering 3 questions. Number 1 question is why. Then I will be discussing what and then how. So a very gentle reminder to all of you, in case you think my voice is not audible, or do you think that, okay, there is some shaking in the voice or some sort of screen is not visible properly, please interrupt me in between, don't hesitate. It is good that you should be able to listen properly. Also, please do not play around with the screen. Do not draw anything on your screen. That's a humble request to everyone. So why, what, and how? So whenever we have to go into the deep of any exam, always ask these 3 questions. Do not prepare for any exam if you don't know the answer to these 3 questions. I will begin by answering the question why. Why you need CSIR Net? Why are you going to spend next 7, 8 months or 6 months preparing for a very difficult exam, which needs a very deep understanding of physics? Why you want to do that? Very first benefit of CSIR Net exam, as we all know, is elections are coming. That is the biggest benefit. Next year, or I think in 2024, there are going to be elections. And whenever elections comes, there are going to be many assistant professor faculties which are posts which are going to open up. You will see many posts which will be coming up in next January, February, March, next April, in next year, or also in this year, you must be seeing many assistant professor posts which will be coming up. As a result, you must have a CSIR Net exam if you want to apply to these posts. And it is a very good chance right now that you can become an assistant professor in a government college. If you want to pursue your career in teaching, not just because of the government job or something like that, but if you really are passionate about teaching, then this is a very good opportunity. And if you have a CSIR Net exam and let's say good score in CSIR Net exam, it will give you 2 benefits. The number 1 benefit is you can apply. That is surely a benefit. Then second, you will do a very good in your written exam. Every assistant professor post has either a written exam and interview or both. So you will also do good in that exam. Also, once your CSIR Net preparation is done, you can qualify other exams like SET and BARC if you are also planning for other government jobs. So that is a main goal that you should have for CSIR Net. But other than that, there is one more benefit of CSIR Net, which we all know, that is PhD anywhere in India. I have worked as a PhD scholar in IISc, and let me tell you one thing very clearly. Every lab wants a person who has CSIR Net, because no lab wants to have a person who is on institute fellowship. Although they take the people from institute fellowship also. I was a person going to institute fellowship, but if you have a CSIR Net fellowship, it means you have your own funding, and no lab say no to a person who has his own funding. A very good benefit of that is you can go to IISc and all other kind of places and do a JRF and SRF position, PhD positions very easily if you have your own CSIR Net. I am telling you from the point of view of the new faculty. Every year, new professors join in IITs, ISRs, IISc, and all these professors are looking for the people who already have the funding, because in the initial period, professors do not have a very high funding. So if in case you have a CSIR Net fellowship, then you are an independent person. You can join these labs. You can easily get into these labs at the top institutions of India. You can do a PhD, and PhD these days, I want to tell you, in India, what has happened is now research is not for academic purpose only. It is not for you to become an assistant professor in IITs or in, let's say, in some colleges or in some universities. Research nowadays, or the career of PhD nowadays, is a very well-paying career, and I have seen this in IISc. Before that also, I used to think that, okay, PhD is a boring and no one gets a job through it. It is only for academics. This was my thinking before joining PhD. But once I joined nanotechnology department in IISc, my thinking changed. I actually saw that what PhD can give us. And I will definitely tell you, if you do PhD in instrumentation physics, there are many departments who offer the PhD in instrumentation physics. If you do a PhD in nanotechnology, if you do a PhD, let's say in the optical engineering, or if you do it in material sciences, all these PhDs, if you have done it in a good department and your work is decent or good enough, then people are getting the jobs which is plus 20 lakhs per annum plus jobs. In my department alone, in nanotechnology, every PhD guy gets hired. Every PhD guy. They gets hired in the private companies at a salary more than 20 lakhs per annum. And that is the kind of thing which is there out there right now. Because now people are not doing PhD just for academic positions. Other than that, we all have heard the news that now the PhD fellowship has been increased. However, we were expecting the big increase, but still it has been increased now. So you will be getting the salary of 37,000 during your PhD. And after 2 years, you all know it increases. So it will become 42,000 after 2 years. So that is also an additional benefit that, let's say, you want to make a very good career in next 4 or 5 years. You want to get at a very high scientific position in a very good company. Let's say HCL. HCL also comes to hire PhDs. Okay. So if you want to get into HCL at a very good position, at a very good highly salary package, then for 5 years, you can maintain yourself at 37,000. And after 5 years, your salary will suddenly take a jump and you will become a scientist. And then from that point onward, you are settled. Then because usually companies once hire a position which is 20 lakhs per annum, then they do not fire such kind of people, because they have spent so much money on them, on their training and so on. If you want to know more about the placements in private companies, I have taken one detailed session on semiconductor technology, how you can get a job after PhD. Other than that, let's say you are very passionate about academic positions, then PhD exceptionally, especially if I talk about in top institutions like IISc, CSIR, IITs, they are the direct tickets for foreign. So let's say you do a PhD from any of these institutions, then you can directly go abroad, because I have not seen a single person doing a PhD in India do not goes abroad. They definitely do. And they goes in the universities where once Feynman, Newton, Einstein, these kind of people has worked. All the top institutions, you know the names, the universities in England, the universities in USA, universities in Germany, all of these people go to a postdoc. Postdoc also, people think that it is a kind of a study. It's an education. No, postdoc is not an education. Postdoc is a full-time job. In USA, the average salary of a person is $60,000, but a postdoc gets above $1 lakh per year, which is 80 lakh rupees. If you are in a good university, if your position is good. So 1 lakh US dollars. And trust me, many computer science engineers are also not getting this much salary in USA. But the only condition is your PhD must be good. It must be from good institution, and it must be in experimental field. You must know how to build things. And there are ton of departments in India which actually can teach you these kind of skills. I can name many departments. Okay, so that is one of the benefit of PhD. So don't think that by listening to some sort of frustrated PhD students that, okay, PhD is not good. No, PhD is a heaven. When I had to quit my PhD, it was a very tough decision. It was extremely tough, because I knew that this can give me something very big in next 5 years. But still I quit it because of my passion for teaching. Okay, and I was very happy as a PhD scholar. I can literally tell you. Okay. So now if we know why, any question on why, then I will go to what. If you have any question that why PhD or why CSIR Net.
Uh, Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Yeah.
Sir, you had said if we choose only experimental field in this PhD, we will be having all these job hikes and all. How about the theoretical field? Because my research in MSc will be in theoretical, so I would be obviously continuing with that. Will I be able to get any jobs like this if I choose a theoretical career instead of an experimental one?
I will give you a very honest answer. If there are 100 jobs, 80 will be for experimental, maybe 20 will be for theoretical. And you can guess the competition. In experimental, the competition is very less. The reason, because very few institutions has those facilities which can actually make you good experimentalist. But all the institutions can give you a degree in theoretical physics. I am not saying that degree will be very good, but they can give you a degree. So there are more jobs in experimental and less competition. There is a less jobs in theoretical and also more competition. So you can guess by yourself. My MSc project was also on theoretical, but some professor guided me that, okay, please do not go in theoretical, go in experimental. And I took his advice. And I think it was the best advice anyone could have given me. And I will give you the same advice. But if you are okay with being in academic position only and not in the job perspective, then I think theoretical is as good as experimental.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, any other question, anyone? Then I will move to the next part of the okay, so let's move to the next part. I think the next part is, if we are clear that why, then we should know what is CSIR Net Exam. Now, in one line, if I define CSIR Net Exam, I would say everything under the roof of physics. I don't think in that syllabus there is anything which is left. Any MSc, any BSc, whatever you pick up, all the content they teach in their MSc, BSc, everything CSIR Net has put up. But do we need to study everything? Can we study everything? No. The absolute answer is no. What to study, what not to study is the biggest question in CSIR Net. Trust me, if you see their syllabus and if you try to cover that syllabus very thoroughly, you need at least 8 to 10 hours every day for next 1 year. Below that, it is not possible. But no one has that much time. No one gives that much effort. You only have to beat your competition. That should be your goal. Many physics people, whenever they try to prepare for exams, first approach they have tried to have is, okay, I will become a master of this syllabus. I love studying physics, so I will study it very hard. I will study it very conceptually deep and theoretically deep. I will go in the depth, and ultimately their syllabus does not get complete. They do not study it through the approach of an exam. So the biggest challenge here is, leave your physical instincts behind, keep your logical mind open, and then cover the syllabus. That is the main headline of CSIR Net. You can join any coaching. You can go to any offline coaching, take 6 hours of classes every day. It will be worthless, because even in 6 hours of classes, you will not be able to revise that much. That is a major reason why people are not able to qualify exam of CSIR Net one after one, because they do not look it through the point of view of exam. They look it through the point of view of a physicist, that I want to know this syllabus. So I will open up your logical brain today, that how should you look at this exam? That will be my main approach. In this exam, there are going to be 3 hours. In 3 hours, there will be 200 marks. There will be total 260-70 marks. Total exam will come up. And then out of those exams, you have to attempt only 200 marks. And out of those 200 marks, you have to score 110 or 115, let's say 120, to get a very excellent rank. That is the entire game. But now there are going to be 3 parts in this exam. Number 1 part, we know it is general aptitude. So part A here, which you can see on your screen, is the what is it called? General aptitude. Now, this general aptitude is not easy. Don't take it lightly. It is not easy until unless you have solved 500 problems which are similar to CSIR Net questions. You cannot perform well in part A. That is my main idea to you. Until unless you are very exceptionally good, you are either going to waste so much time on part A, or what will happen is you are going to do many questions wrong. I know many people who actually solved 15 out of 15 questions, but what happened is they solved 8 to 9 questions wrong, and they were not able to identify their mistakes. Afterward, they thought, okay, so the other options were just to confuse us. Okay, now there are going to be 20 questions in part A. You have to do 15, and each question is 2 marks. If you do any question wrong, 25% negative, 0.5 marks will go away. Trust me, I can give you from my experience. If you solve 500 questions of general aptitude, just 500 in next 6 months, and those questions are actually of the level of CSIR Net, exactly like CSIR Net questions, you can solve 15 questions in 15 minutes, just 15 to 20 minutes. But the issue is you have to have that kind of practice before. Do not solve less than 500. Do not solve more than 500. There are many people I also know that they have just purchased the book of general aptitude and they are studying it through a concept basis. Like, okay, these are the time problems. These are the numerical problems. These are the number problems. No, do not study general aptitude in this form. Always study general aptitude mixed way. There are 500 questions which are mixed, and then solve those questions. And whenever you get a time, just solve those questions. And out of those 500 questions, no questions comes outside that. There is a limit that general aptitude questions can be put up. Once you have that kind of practice, you can actually know that, okay, out of 30 marks, I will definitely get 20 marks. That is my confidence. And I will not waste more than 20-25 minutes on this part. Once you go to part B, that is actually a part where you cannot beat your competition. I can guarantee you. Whatever you study in part B will give you a base. It will be like a foundation of your rank. It will not beat the competition. But why I'm saying you this? Part B syllabus is actually easy. They only ask the questions which already has been asked in the previous year. If you actually solve all the previous year papers of CSIR Net, you will realize that most of the part B has been covered. There is nothing much out there which can be asked in part B, which has not already been asked. Either it will be asked in GATE, it would have been asked in GATE, or maybe it has been asked in TIFR, or let's say it was asked sometime in JEST. But that question will definitely had been asked in some exam. In part B, the only thing you need to cover is you build a very strong foundation that you can exactly say that, okay, let's say there are 25 questions. The 25 questions are going to come. You have to solve 30 questions, 20 questions. And every question will give you 3.5 marks. So it is total 70 marks paper. Part B is total 70 marks. Now, if you have done just PYQs with a good notes making, and not just PYQs, you have done it the PYQs, but you have also practiced the questions which are similar to PYQs. Only then you can say, I have done PYQs. You cannot just say, okay, I have completed all the PYQs. Now I am done with PYQs. No, at least 2 to 3 questions related to each PYQ you must have done. Let's say I'm talking about small oscillations. In small oscillations, 15 questions have came so far, or 20 questions. Then now, have you done 50 more questions of small oscillations or not? If not, then you may not get good marks. But if yes, you can easily do that question in a very small time, very, very small time. Out of these 70 questions, you cannot score more than 50. That is my guarantee. That I can take a guarantee that whatever you study, you cannot score more than 50. If anyone has scored 50 marks, come to me. Okay, just tell us, okay, sir, I have scored 50 marks in part B. So you can guess 20 marks in part A, 50 marks in part B. You are still 50 marks or 40 marks below your rank. Below your rank. Then comes the part C. That is where you are making your rank. That is the point where you are actually building up the rank, where you are beating your competition. because each and every question in part C, trust me, there are going to be 30 questions. Out of these 20 questions you have to do, and there will be 5 marks for each. So 100 marks is for part C. Here comes what to study and what not to study. Here you need an expert to tell you that, okay, you do not need to study everything. Study these 15 topics. Out of these 15 topics, 110%, 10 topics are going to come. Out of those 10 topics, you can easily do 6 questions. You will get 30 marks. And other remaining 20 questions, even if you do 2 or 3 correct, you are going to get a rank. So out of these 30 questions, trust me, 10 to 12 questions are going to be directly from the previous year. Either they will be on the same trend or they are going to be from the same approach. I can give you the name of the topics as well. For example, numerical methods. Same question come every year. WKB approximation, variational principle, quantum mechanics in 3D. Then I can give you the name of radiations in electromagnetism. Relativistic EMT. It seems very tough topic, but only 1 or 2 pages are enough to cover this. Then you can say, okay, the next topics in statistical mechanics, you see Ising model, very simple topic. Then you see if we go for the topics like the what is that name of classical mechanics topics, small oscillations. Yeah, all these topics are, I'm going to mention all these topics in my next slides, that from where the questions have actually came. I will show you right now, but I'm just giving you a basic idea. Out of 30 questions, 10 or 12 will be direct, came from previous year. Out of those 12, definitely you can score 6, 7. And then comes, how do you score other 3 questions? That's the only point of view. That's it. How do you solve other 3 questions? Because if you solve 10 questions of part C correct, your rank is guaranteed. You are going to get a very good rank in CSIR Net. You can relax. Out of those 10 questions, 6 to 7 will be based on PYQs and the trends. And you have to make sure that you do not study anything which is waste and only focus on those topics which are going to give you those 6 to 7 questions. And then last 3 questions will depend upon how much knowledge do you have. If you have actually done physics nicely in your BSc, MSc, you will be very easily be able to find 3 questions which you can actually solve. And once you solve 10 questions in part C, 70 plus 50, 120, you will be done. But let's say you do a good preparation, you can even go beyond 120. But that is your approach. Your approach should not be the syllabus. Your approach should be the number of questions. Your approach should be, okay, how many topics I can study and how many topics I will study. That should be the approach. Okay, now we are done with the pattern. Let's say that I am very quickly telling the schedule. So schedule, I am based on the last year. The last year exam happened almost in end of the January. So whatever the schedule I will be giving you, or the brief schedule or the schedule, I have made the schedule based on these dates. That the exam of physical science you can check is on 15th February. So I guess that, okay, this year, maybe the exam will happen on 30th January or something. So I have made the schedule according to that dates. But let's say the exam happens in December, then the dates will slightly change. Then we have to revise our schedule as well. But for now, we will assume that our exam will happen in January, because results of this July has not been came yet. It will take another 10-15 days to come out the result, because then challenging the answer key, then answer key will be revised, and then the result will come. So you can expect results by 15th July. And then after 1 month or 2 months, the application will come up. All this will take at least you till January, because exam has not been timed very properly till now. So in January, the exam will happen. My prediction, but we have to predict one date so we can make a schedule. So based on that dates, let's move forward. I am very quickly giving you a name of the books. You already must have all the books with you, but let me give you a name of the books very quickly. So mathematical methods, 2 standard books. Do not go for any other book. 2 books, very standard. Number 1, H.K. Das. Second, Erwin Kreisig. All other topics are in H.K. Das. Erwin Kreisig only for complex analysis. Complex analysis book chapter is very good given in Erwin Kreisig. Then mechanics, if some people have, let's say, what is the name of that book? I'm forgetting that. Satya Prakash, then you can use Satya Prakash and do not use HK Das. Both are equally good. Mechanics, two books, J.C. Upadhyay, H.C. Verma. J.C. Upadhyay for BSc, MSc topics, H.C. Verma for basic mechanics topics. Electromagnetism, only one book, DJ Griffiths, all the chapters are there. Nothing ever has came out of this book. All the things which has been asked in CSIR Net was there in DJ Griffiths. I can prove you that. You can give me the question, I can tell you from which page of the DJ Griffiths this question has came. Okay, that important is this book. Statistical mechanics, many people only follow Patharia, but I will say BB Lord is a great book. Have the PDF of this book with you. BB Lord is an excellent book. It is written in a very simple way. However, he is a foreign author, but still his language is like an Indian author, and also the way he has presented the topics is exceptionally well. Patharia is although a very tough book, but if you see all the graphs and all the equations that you need are there in Patharia. But you should be very careful while reading Patharia, because Patharia can take you months of your time and do not give you any result. Studying more than 30 to 40 pages from Patharia is not needed. You can read the canonical ensemble chapter, that's it. Do not study anything else from Patharia. For anything else, you go for BB Lord, and for canonical ensemble, you can use Patharia. That's it. Thermodynamics, these days what is happening is BSc level topics are also coming in part B. So you should have a very quick revision of thermodynamics. Garg Bansal Ghosh is a very good book for that. I think each and every concept is given in a simple way. You will know that, okay, laws of thermodynamics, everything you can practice very nicely from this book. All the concepts are written in a very clear manner. Quantum mechanics, again, DJ Griffiths. People use Jet Li as well, but I will say Jet Li can be used for only chapter number 2, which is basic quantum mechanics. That's it. Other than that, I don't think so Jet Li is anywhere needed. So for chapter number 2, where it is mentioned that, okay, what are the operators and what are the Hamilton Dirac notations and all that, you can use Jet Li. Other than that, all the topics are very well written in DJ Griffiths, and directly questions have came many times from this book. Then electronics, VK Mehta is a very basic and standard book, which will give you a basics. But other than basics, you need Boylsted book. Why you need Boylsted? Why? First of all, many topics like op-amp, and then coming to filters, coming to amplifiers is not good written in VK Mehta. You need Boylsted. And for digital electronics, you need one very good book, which is Anand Kumar. You can go for this book, but this book is a massive book. You have to study very, very, very precisely from this book. If you are studying on your own, you do not have any coaching institute or anything where someone can tell you, then you have to be very sure that, okay, Anand Kumar should be followed very precisely, because it's a 500-page book only on digital electronics. But you need only 3 days for digital to complete. 3 days are well and enough for digital. That's it for entire digital of CSIR Net. Then coming to solid state, I will say if I have to pick a toughest subject of CSIR Net, that will be solid state. Why? Because there is no good book. I can guarantee, I can give you in the written that for solid state, there is no book which is written according to CSIR Net. Puri and Babbar is a good alternative, but it is very derivative kind of. It do not give you a challenging problems. It do not open up your mind in the solid state. It is like a college education book. But Kittle opens your mind, but it do not have the topics which are there in CSIR. So here I would say you need some sort of teacher to teach you solid state, because I would say both the books are good, but not enough. Even if you study both these books, I will not say that you will be able to score good in solid state. Out of 3 or 4 questions which are asked in solid state, it is possible that maybe you won't be able to solve even one. That is also possible. And all the time that you have spent in solid state may go to waste. Okay. But if someone is there to tell you that, okay, study this or study these questions or study these kind of questions, then it may help you. Then atomic and molecular physics, I would say Rajkumar is a standard book. But again, I'm telling, atomic and nuclear are such a subjects. In atomic and nuclear combined, total 6 questions comes, and you can analyze that. I have already analyzed that. You can go and check it. 6 questions comes. In these 2 subjects, out of 6, I can challenge any of you here. You cannot score more than 3 questions. If you can score more than 3 questions, then you are a genius in atomic or you are a genius in nuclear. Every year they put such a horrible questions in these two subjects that there is no sense to that. So out of 6, you can do 3. So I will say study these topics, but study in a limited manner. Only study the important parts. Only study the, like in atomic, you can study the basic atomic and then basic molecular. That's it. Do not go in too much depth. Also in nuclear, you can study like basic nuclear properties, basic nuclear models and radioactivity and basic rules of particle physics. That's it. Don't go beyond this, because if you go beyond this, you are only going to waste your time and you will not be able to revise the more important topics. Last 2 topics which I want to mention is oscillations and waves and optics. I will recommend you, please study optics, at least wave optics, because every year question has been asked from wave optics. Either it is on interference or diffraction or on polarization. Questions comes in CSIR Net from optics because it is a part of electromagnetic waves. Oscillations and waves, why you actually need is, many times they ask you, for example, in small oscillations. For example, in electromagnetic oscillations, many questions are there on oscillations basis. And if you don't know the basics of oscillations, then how you are going to solve those questions? You will not be able to think in that term. But I will recommend you can keep it in last. Before atomic, you can, after solid state, maybe you can do optics and then you can do atomic and molecular and nuclear. So that is the books I am mentioning you. You can read the books. I will share this presentation after this session. Now, this is a schedule. Now, this is the schedule of my course, and I will be teaching in this schedule. But let's say you are studying on your own, you are self-studying. So you can also use this schedule, because this is a very good schedule. Everything I have thought in this schedule. So what my schedule or what I am going to do in my course is, I am going to spend first 15 days on foundation physics. So what is foundation physics? Now you must have forgot the BSc topics. You must have forgot the class 11, 12. For example, many topics I can mention: basic mechanics, basic electronics, basic mathematics. How do you study the graphs? How do you do the Taylor series expansion? How do you do the Dirac delta function? What is the properties of Dirac delta function? What are the kinematics laws, work energy theorem, collisions, rotational motion, angular momentum? All this quick revision of all the basic foundational physics concepts, basic electronics, KCL, KVL, okay? Or you will say the basic electronics like the formulas of drift velocity, mobility, all these are needed in a later stage. So in first 15 days, I will be covering that. And I am announcing right now, any student can take a free foundation physics from me. On my new website and app, I have made foundation physics free for everyone. You can come, you can join foundation physics. In first 15 days, you can study for free. You can learn everything for free. I will be taking up the lectures. I will be giving the notes. I will be taking the quiz. All the things have already been uploaded there. You can go and see that. After each topic, there is a quiz. So whatever you have learned, you can take a quiz. And all the quizzes are fully solved. So you can see your mistakes and everything. All the notes are digital notes. You can see the notes. You can read the notes. So that is free for everyone. You can take a full benefit of that. After 15 July, I will recommend start with mathematical methods. Go in a sequence, because mathematical methods is going to be used in all the next chapters. In foundation physics, I will also be covering like topics like spherical polar coordinates, cylindrical polar coordinates, which is very important. They are used in almost quantum mechanics, electromagnetism, stat mech. Okay, so that I will be covering. Then mathematical methods you can study. You can easily study mathematical methods. It will take you roughly 20 days to complete. After your mathematical method is done, then, oh, sorry, I have written modern physics. I must have written here quantum mechanics. So very sorry for that. Instead of modern physics, here quantum mechanics is there. Okay, so excuse me for my mistake. Then it is going to come classical mechanics afterwards, then electromagnetism. So mechanics will again take you around 20 to 21 days. Then electromagnetism, again, it will take you 21 to 22 days. Then thermodynamics and stat mech, again, it will take you somewhere around you can say 20 days, 25 days. Electronics will take you around 20 days. Then quantum mechanics, sorry, it's not modern, it's quantum. So quantum mechanics, 4 to 21 November, roughly it will take you 18 to 20 days. Why? Because quantum, I would say, you must be studying quantum from a long time. And in quantum, if you say, see, most of the topics gets covered in part B only. In part C, there are some topics like variational principle, WKB approximation, and so many topics are there, but you can cover them very quickly. You can do WKB approximation in 1 day. You can do perturbation in 1 day. You can do variational principle in 1 day. So it will not take you a long time. So all the quantum mechanics can be done in 17 to 18 days. And then oscillations, waves, and optics you can study here, or I would say for you, you can spend more time on quantum if your quantum is not good. Because oscillation, wave, and optics, there is no need for you to go for these many days. You can keep it less time. Why I have kept oscillation, wave, and optics? And you will see here, I have almost kept 20 days for there here. Why I have kept 20 days for it? Because there is a TIFR exam. I am assuming while I was making this schedule that anyone who is preparing for CSIR Net exam will also have TIFR exam in his mind or is her mind. So in TIFR exam, if you see, oscillation, wave, and optics become very important. So before moving to solid state, atomic, or nuclear, I kept oscillations, waves, and optics so that you can do a very good in your TIFR exam as well. Once your TIFR exam is done, you can come to the 3 subjects: solid state. After your solid state, if your CSIR Net exam happens, then your 2 subjects will be remaining. Let's say your CSIR Net exam happens on December itself. Then you cannot cover atomic and nuclear, but that's fine. Anyway, they're not going to give you many good marks. But in what I will do is, in my course, what I will do is, if CSIR Net exam happens in December only, what I will do is, I will teach the basics of these 2 subjects before CSIR Net, so that at least student knows the basics, and out of 6 questions, they can at least score 2 questions. They, for example, they can easily score the particle physics question. They can easily score the nuclear model questions. They can easily score the lasers questions. So I will teach the very basics before CSIR Net exam if CSIR Net exams happens in December. But let's say, according to our prediction, if it happens in January only, then our syllabus will be done before January. So if you're preparing your own, also I will recommend you, if you're preparing for TIFR, then go for oscillation, wave, and optics. If you are not, then you can cover atomic before and then nuclear. Okay, so that I think should be the plan for CSIR Net and TIFR combined. And according to this plan, if you see, before GATE also all the syllabus will be done. And you will be covering atomic and nuclear in the end. So because in GATE, nuclear and atomic are very important, extremely important. Every year now, from last 3 years, these 2 chapters are coming in a great detail. So if you are covering it just before the exam, that will definitely help you because it will be very fresh in your mind and all that. And also, I can guarantee you, once you start these 2 subjects, it may confuse you. So it is not good to do it in the initial stage. First, cover up the 6 or 7 basic subjects which are going to come in your CSIR Net. Okay, so if we are done with the schedule, to see the schedule, I am going to discuss the important parts of the syllabus. So I have made a graphs for you because I love making graphs. So can you see the graph? Can anyone confirm? Can you see here a bar graph?
Yes, sir.
So beautiful bar graph you can see here, and I have analyzed. It took me, oh my God, I cannot tell you even 7 days to do this, but I have done it. I saw last 2010 to 2022 questions, and I divided them into topics. Why I divided, I will tell you in later stage why I did that. I divided these, and what I saw is in mathematical physics, you can see vector algebra, vector calculus, 14 questions, matrices, 20 questions, complex analysis, 24, Fourier and Laplace, 17, differential, 23, tensors, 18, numerical methods, 14, and other questions which are there from, let's say, there are many other topics, small topics. For example, there is a partial differential equation. Okay, those kind of topics have came 16 questions as well. So you can clearly see how uniformly this is distributed. However, we can see complex is important, differential equation is important, but you cannot ignore other parts as well, because other parts are not very far from the mean or the average. So you can actually see that these are the topics where you actually need to focus and in which preference you have to focus on them. Then you can go to the classical mechanics, basic classical mechanics 20. Here you can exactly see what is important. You can exactly see that Lagrangian and Hamiltonian is going to give you 48 questions. So this is a point where you need to focus on. Then afterwards, you know that you need to do small oscillations. Then you clearly know that relativity you need to do in 24 questions. And these basic mechanics questions, I will be covering it up in the foundation physics. So if you want to cover this part up, then you can use the foundation physics free course and then you can do it in there. And Poisson bracket also, I have seen that 4 questions have came. So you clearly know that this is not a very important part of the syllabus. Then you can come to the electromagnetism. Here also you can clearly see electromagnetism and electrodynamics and the advanced topics are the two major parts. What is advanced topics? Radiations, waveguides, relativistic electromagnetism. All the parts of part C questions. Many part C questions. I will not say all the part C questions are here, but many part C questions are here. Topics like relativistic EMT, topics like radiations, topics like waveguides, all these topics are there. So it comes in EMT, advanced topics comes. And here you will waste more of your time. Why? Because each topic is a detailed chapter in the Griffiths. So you should be very smart that how you are going to cover these topics. Okay, here you need to be smart. Okay, I have made like 2-3 page notes for each topic, not 2-3, I would say 7-8 pages notes, because I have also added solved examples and the exercise. So it is like for each topic, like advanced topic, for each advanced topic, I have made like 8 to 10 page notes, which are enough, which you can just read it up and your topic will be done. For example, relativistic EMT, you can just complete it in 10-12 pages and you are done. Definitely going to give you a marks. In part C, every question in part C is 5 points. Then comes EM waves. All that EM waves, Faraday law, Maxwell equations, that is also very important. And you have to read Griffiths thoroughly. Then the next 2 major topics are optics. I was mentioning optics, right? So you can see 24 optics questions have came so far. They all are from wave optics. Then 28 from electrostatics and 14 from special topics of electrostatics. What are special topics? Image problem, multipole expansion, or you can say polarization. All these 14 questions have came so far from the special topics of electronics. Moving to next, you can see quantum. In quantum mechanics in 3D is most important. Then comes quantum mechanics basics. And then you can see quantum mechanics in 1D. These 3 chapters, if you cover it up, most of the quantum is done. But these 3 comes in part C. So these are also important. So perturbation you can do in just 2 days. WKB approximation and variation principle, I can guarantee you, if you trust me, I have notes which you can do in just 2 days. So all 3 topics of part C of the quantum mechanics can be done in 4 to 5 days. That's it. Just 4 to 5 days and you are getting like 18, 16, 34, 50 questions. Almost 50 questions of part C of quantum mechanics can be covered up in 4 to 5 days. Because these questions are coming from just 1 or 2 formulae. You don't have to study the entire chapter. You should actually don't even need to know that what is Born approximation. Even if you don't know the Born approximation, you just know the 4 or 5 formulae, you can solve the questions of Born approximation, which are coming up in the CSIR Net exam. That is the main analysis which I did. Then coming to next part, statistical mechanics. Statistical mechanics, why I said revise thermodynamics, because you can see a big peak here, 33 questions from thermodynamics. So it is important that you revise thermodynamics. Otherwise, what will happen is you are going to lose these 33 questions. And then major part is going to come from classical stat mech. What is classical stat mech? We all know canonical ensemble, microstates and macrostates, and microcanonical ensemble. These 3 topics makes up the classical statistical mechanics. In these 3 topics, major part is going to come, and this part is very well written in Patharia. And then next part, quantum statistical mechanics. What is quantum stat mech? This is a tricky part. You cannot cover it from the book because very tough concepts are written there. But here you can see Fermi statistics and quantum statistics. In quantum Fermi statistics and boson statistics. In Fermi statistics, all that Fermi Dirac equation, Fermi Dirac statistics, you must have seen that formula, Fermi occupation formula, that graph, then what is that? What is that called? Boson statistics. Okay? In that, black body radiations comes and photon gas comes. Fermi gas comes in Fermi Dirac statistics. So this is also, you need some sort of notes or something to cover this topic up. This is not very well written in books, I can guarantee you that. Then advanced topics. In advanced topics, you know Ising model, random walk problem, all the things you know. For example, what is that topic's name? Diffusion equation. These kind of topics have came in the advanced topics. And in phase transitions, also 9 questions have came. Phase transitions is also one-day job. It's not a very big deal to do phase transitions. And it is very good written in BB Lord. Phase transition is very nice in BB Lord. You can actually read it up. Then moving to next topic, which is electronics. You can see major comes from electronics, which is digital electronics. In digital electronics, syllabus is very widespread. It is not like that everything is coming from one chapter. If there are 31 questions, I can guarantee there are 31 subtopics. Okay, so you have to study too much for digital, but very smartly. How much depth you need to go, you should be very clear. If you go and just start studying book, then just for adders, there is a chapter. Just for flip-flops, there is a chapter. Just for D to A converter and A to D converter, there is a chapter. So you cannot keep on studying chapters. There should be one chapter, one notes where all the digital must be written. Only then you can qualify. Otherwise, you will waste so much time. But other chapters like op-amps and filters, you should read the book. Diodes and transistors, you should read the book. Semiconductor physics, I think it is an easy topic to cover and you should cover it. Even though it is less important, but in solid state physics, semiconductor physics helps you a lot. Also in interviews of PhD, they are going to ask you so many questions from semiconductor. So please do not miss out. Please study semiconductor. Other topics involved here I am mentioned is, other topics of this is like errors. You must know in electronics, errors is also a part. Then experimental techniques, then lock-in amplifier. All these part C syllabus, you know, horrible syllabus. I will recommend never study other topics of electronics. Out of these 24 questions, I can guarantee you all 24 questions are from different topic. They are all from different topics. There is not even a single topic. For example, Fourier analysis in electronics. No physics student has done Fourier analysis in electronics. So why are you wasting your time on other topics? Do not study other topics of electronics. It is time waste. You can spend 1 year on this and still do not get the question correct. So don't waste your time on this. Focus on other 4. And then comes the solid state. In solid state, major part comes from properties of solids, and that is the biggest headache. They mix up the properties. So they will ask you both electronics properties and thermal properties in the same question. They will give you any random dispersion relation, any random. And you are not used to do the questions in that form. You are used to do the questions in the theory form. But they will give you random dispersion relation and they will ask you, okay, now tell me what are going to be the band gap energy. Okay, and you are completely lost that how to find a band gap energy from a dispersion relation. And trust me, no books, no notes covers this. There is no coaching out there. I have read the notes of coachings which has covered it. They all have just followed the pattern of the book. And books are already in the wrong pattern for solid state. You need to have your pattern correct. The notes which I have prepared, because while I was preparing, I made those notes and now I have converted those notes in a digital form. I have typed those notes. Now those notes have the same pattern as CSIR. I have put up the problems like, okay, this is a dispersion relation. How do you see this? What is a brilliance zone boundary? This is a question which is in CSIR. They will give you dispersion relation and then they will ask you, find the brilliance zone boundary. Have you seen such question in CSIR Net if you have tried to solve PYQs? if the dispersion relation is given and brilliant zone boundaries are asked. Have you seen this? Anyone who has seen here these kind of questions, dispersion relation questions? No one? No one tried to do the solid state PYQs? You can raise your hand. I can see your hands if you want to. Okay, so no one has done the solid state PYQ. So you should do the solid state PYQ. You will realize it very soon. Other than this, there are some simple questions in properties of solids as well. Okay, in properties of solids, there are many simple questions also. For example, from Einstein model, from Debye model, and all these models. Then crystallography and reciprocal lattice. Crystallography, we all know. These involves BCC, FCC lattice. Reciprocal lattice, we all know. XRD diffraction. Then scattering factor, form factor. All these topics are there in the reciprocal lattice. Brillo zones. All that topics are there, and 20 questions are asked. And so from magnetism and superconductivity, 9 questions are there. But I would say these topics are relatively easy to conduct. You can read these topics, and 9 questions have came so far from magnetism or from superconductivity. Last 2 subjects which are remaining is, one is new atomic and molecular. From atomic physics, 33 questions. Again, I would say out of 33, you can do 10 to 12 questions. Other questions were very horrible, very horrible. I can really say that those questions were not for the level of the kind of education we get in our universities. That were definitely pretty advanced questions. So, but anyway, 33 from atomic. Molecular questions I found was easy. They can be done. And the easiest part to cover in molecular, atomic and molecular is lasers. Out of 17, if you have done lasers quite good, then you can score 12 questions very easily. You can score 12 questions. So I found that, okay, this is interesting. You can actually do these lasers part very easily. But other 2 parts, atomic is tough. And in atomic, only easy part is vector model, angular momentum questions which are there, or Zeeman effect questions which are there. Those are easy questions. But all other questions which are on spin orbit interaction or which are on other topics, they are relatively little tough. But tough, I will say that you have to cover a lot of syllabus to do that. That is the tough for me. Therefore, they are widespread. They are not like limited to some topics or some chapters. Then the last we have is nuclear and particle. In nuclear and particle, I would say you can cover it up very nicely, but the questions will be tough. So be ready for that. So nuclear and properties and models. So nuclear properties, you know, quadrupole moment, magnetic moment, binding energy, and nuclear models, you know, shell model, liquid drop model, and then other sort of models are there also. So that those models are there, nuclear properties are there. Radioactivity, pretty much easy, I would say, but they give the reaction. They do not ask you about the radioactivity law, but what they ask is selection rules, which is tough. Most of people have not studied that. If you will study radioactivity from book, I can guarantee you will not get any question correct, because they do not ask from book. They ask selection rules. What they ask angular momentums of the reactions. And there in many advanced books only this has been given. Angular momentums, for example, there is one book called Crane. In Crane only these kind of things are written. In basic books like Mittal and Verma or Indian author books, these things are not written. Even if they are written, I don't think this is written. They are not written. They do not ask from direct decay law or something like that. Particle I found is the easiest, because you have to just learn the isospin numbers and all those numbers, and you are done. You can solve the questions of particle physics quite easily. Although in some years questions have came difficult. For example, sometimes scattering questions comes or something like that. Then only particle becomes difficult. But most of the questions I found was okay. They can be done. Advanced topics, again, neutron problem and scattering problem. All those questions I put there, but they have not came too much. Okay, so this is about the analysis of the syllabus. Any questions to anyone? Anyone has any question? I hope you have written all the things. It will be helpful. Okay, so can you all listen me, right? You all can hear me now? You
Yes,
have
sir.
not, yeah, okay. You guys have not spoken from long. Yeah. Any question, guys? Just ask the question, na? Give me some break, na?
सुन पा रहे हैं मुझे?
या बताओ।
भैया मैंने एक जब मतलब 6 महीने एक मतलब टीचर से कोचिंग लिया था। उन्होंने बताया था कि अब क्वेश्चन 2017 और
17 और 18 क्या? कैन यू रिपीट 17 और 18?
2018 तक शायद रिपीट होते रहते हैं, एक चैप्टर से हो या एक टॉपिक से हो, जैसे क्वांटम में डब्ल्यू के भी अप्रोक्सीमेशन हो या स्कैटरिंग थ्योरी हो ऐसे। लेकिन वो बता रहे थे कि अब जो मैं कोचिंग ले रहा था वो बता रहे थे कि अब ट्रेंड बिल्कुल चेंज हो चुका है। मतलब आप कुछ भी छोड़ के नहीं जाना है, सब कुछ पढ़ के जाना है, क्योंकि कहाँ सबसे क्या क्वेश्चन मतलब सीआर नेट वाले देंगे वो भी बता रहे थे।
नहीं, वो बिल्कुल ठीक है। दैट इज सी आइडियल बातें मैं भी कर सकता हूँ। आई कैन ऑल्सो से सब कुछ पढ़ के जाना, पर वो सब कुछ है क्या? क्या पढ़ के जाना है? सब कुछ में क्या आता है? कौन सी बुक
मे
है
बी
जिसमें सब कुछ लिखा है कि वो पढ़ ले हम तो हो जाए?
बता रहे कि लेकिन मैक्सिमम नहीं कर सकता।
तुम्हारी आवाज थोड़ी ब्रेक हुई, क्या बता रहे थे सर? बताओ, मुझे भी थोड़ा पता चलेगा।
सब जी वो बताए क्योंकि सवाल कहीं से आ रहे हैं, मतलब ठीक ट्रेंडिंग चेंज हो चुका है। सवाल कहीं से भी आ रहे हैं तो तुमको सब कुछ कवर करके चलना पड़ेगा, सिलेबस जितने भी है।
हाँ, वो मैं मानता हूँ तुम्हारी बात, लेकिन तुम थोड़ा प्रैक्टिकली खुद बैठ कर देखो। अगर तुम बोलो कि मुझे डिजिटल में सब कवर करना है,
जी जी जी।
तो अब सब कवर करना है तो मैं तुम्हें बोलूंगा, अगर तुम्हें सब कवर करना है तो अनंत कुमार करके बुक आती है, पढ़ लो। अब उस 420 पेज की बुक है,
नहीं हो सकता सर, मतलब इतने
तो
सारे
कैसे सब?
सिलेबस है, मैंने पढ़ खुद।
हाँ, तो क्या है ना, ये आइडियल बात हो जाती है कि सब कवर करना है। सब नहीं कवर कर सकते। मतलब अगर सर बोल रहे हैं कि ओके सब कवर करके ट्रेंड बदल गया है, मैं तुम्हें बोलूंगा मैंने नेट क्वालिफाई किया बिना सब पढ़े, और मैंने आखिरी ईयर ही किया। तो इसमें सब पढ़ने वाला तो कुछ नहीं है। मैंने सिर्फ गेट सिलेबस को पढ़ा था। जितना गेट में सिलेबस आता है ना, उतना पढ़ा था। उतने सिलेबस में ही सीएसआईआर नेट क्वालिफाई होता है, आराम से होता है। तो सब पढ़ने वाली बात सही है सर की, मैं मानता हूँ सर को। सर ने जो बोला तो बिल्कुल सही बोला कि ट्रेंड थोड़ा सा मुश्किल होता जा रहा है, नंबर ऑफ क्वेश्चंस मुश्किल हो रहे हैं, लेकिन इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि जो बाकी क्वेश्चंस है वो कम हो रहे हैं। तुम्हें सिंपल मैं वही बोलकर चल रहा था कि इस एग्जाम को सिलेबस की तरह देखो ही मत। इस एग्जाम को हमें देखना है कंपटीशन बीट करना है। अगर कोई मुश्किल क्वेश्चन आया है तो वो तुम्हारे लिए मुश्किल नहीं आया ना,
जी जी।
वो तो मेरे लिए भी मुश्किल आया है, किसी और के लिए भी मुश्किल आया है। अगर तुम उसके ऊपर टाइम वेस्ट करोगे तो क्या फायदा? तुम्हें बस अपने कंपटीशन को बीट करना है। अगर किसी साल में बहुत मुश्किल क्वेश्चन आ जाते हैं तो तुमने लास्ट ईयर देखा कैसे कट ऑफ बहुत नीचे गिर गई। मतलब यू सो राइट, कितने नीचे, आई थिंक 80 से भी नीचे का कट ऑफ था।
जी
तो दैट इज अ पॉइंट। हमें वो टॉपिक्स नहीं पढ़ने जो हमारे इंडियन एजुकेशन की यूनिवर्सिटीज में भी पढ़ाई नहीं जाती, क्योंकि वो कोई भी सही नहीं करने वाला।
जी।
सो इस बात का आप ध्यान रखो। आई वुड से कि सब पढ़ना इज गुड, बट उतना टाइम नहीं है आपके पास।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, 6 महीने में नहीं कवर हो सकता इतना।
आप अगर बेसिक्स भी कर लेना 6 महीने में, वो भी मैं बोलूंगा कि आपने बहुत मेहनत की है, तब जाकर आपके कंप्लीट हुए हैं। ठीक है, क्योंकि 9 सब्जेक्ट्स के बेसिक्स करने में आप खुद बताइए कितना टाइम लगेगा। 9 छोड़िए, 6 के करने हो तब भी तो कितना टाइम चाहिए। ठीक है, ओके। So I recently heard that CSIR Net exam is now conducted by NTA. There is any chance of change in exam pattern? Yes, I feel that if exam is conducted by NTA, you first of all, it not will not be conducted very smoothly because NTA is famous for that. Second, what I feel is कि questions will be very standard, very basic and standard questions. I think again, if NTA comes back and not comes back. If NTA starts conducting exam, paper will become easy. But this is my feeling, because then they will keep in mind the syllabus which is being taught in universities. Because many universities will give their own, because whenever the exam is conducted, the CSR or NTA ask the question paper from many universities. They make a panel which makes up the paper. So that panel will have the professors from different universities, and they will then design the paper. So then it may become that, okay, these things we do not teach to our students, so maybe make the questions little easier. But let's see what happens. This is just a rough guess. Is CSIR Net conducting twice? Yes, it is conducting twice. Once in July and other in December or January, somewhere. This is the dates which are roughly there from last many years. Yes, yeah. How many attempts can we appear? You can attempt as many times as you want. There is no restriction. You can apply it. Okay, upper limit. Yeah, there is an age limit, however, yes. Up to one age, you can apply as many times. After that age, you cannot apply. Now there is a rule that I think they have now also taken up the age restriction also. I was someone told me last year that age is also now gone up.
Sir,
Yeah, tell me please.
age limit is for JRF, not for lecture.
Yeah, it is only for J. I think now they have also removed that also in many universities. It has been removed.
Okay, I
Because
didn't.
there was one senior which came to our lab who was above 30, and he said, okay, I can be now JRF. He was changing his career. Okay, I will
Maybe choose. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe I guess. When is the next CSR? It will either happen in January or in December. Next exam is going to, okay. Can we apply for next exam if we don't apply for? Yes, you can apply. There is no limit like this. No limit for CSIR Net JRF. You can apply as many times as you want. Will there be an interview after? Yes, there will be an interview. In whatever university you apply, they will take your interview. Okay, anything else?
Sir, how many hours of video lectures you will provide, and in how many days will be there?
Okay, so let me come to this only. So I am glad you asked this question. So now this is a steps of preparation. Can you see?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I am now focusing on both the students. So I am very honest. If you are preparing for self-study, these steps will help you. If you are taking up my course, these steps are there which I am going to follow. So listen to this. There is no harm. Even if you are preparing for self-study, these steps will help you. So number one step is covering the syllabus. You can cover the syllabus from NPTEL or YouTube. The only problem there is that these lectures are infinite, and you do not know what to study and what not to study. And very honestly, those teachers do not know very exactly how to teach. There are many good NPTEL courses, but most of the teachers are not very good in teaching. Some of them are exceptionally well, inspiring teachers, but some of them are not. Now, here it should be CSIR Net. Sorry for this jam. It is CSIR Net. I was making so many slides, so it was got confused. In my course, what I will be doing is there will be 10 lectures every week. Each lecture 40 to 45 minutes. It can go up to 1 hour also, but 45 minutes, I will try to keep it up 45 minutes. 10 lectures, 2 days will be break. Monday, Tuesday, you will get lectures. Every day you will get 2 lectures. Recorded lectures, you will get 2 lectures. You can see those lectures. So every day it will take you around 2 hours to complete the lectures. Because 2 lectures means 90 minutes and 30 minutes you need for making the notes and everything. So that is the thing. Then total there are 315 lectures. In these 315 lectures, I will cover the entire syllabus of CSIR Net, GATE, JEST, and TIF. Because they all have the means, if you cover CSIR Net syllabus, everything else is covered. So 315 lectures are there, which I have made the schedule. You can see the schedule on which date, which lecture will come. I have made a in-depth 70 pages schedule. Detailed schedule that which material will come on which day, which lecture will be on which date. So 315 lectures are there covering all the syllabus. Then let's say you are covering on your own, you can skip this part and then you come to the notes. So I have made the notes. If you have your own notes, that is also good. You can read the books also. But if you join the course, I have the notes. I have made 85 notes. 85 chapter-wise notes. And what is the specialty of these notes? Every notes have solved examples. And these examples are going to give you a good confidence. Let's say you read any formula. There is a 4 to 5 questions for that formula, so that you actually see that how that formula you need to apply. It is not like that, okay, you read the formula, then next time you also again revising it. You can actually see how to apply that formula. Also, in the end of each chapter, each notes, there is a back exercise. So if you see the number of questions which I have put up in the notes, which is 5,500 plus questions are there in the notes. You can see the demo notes in Foundation Physics course. You can go on my website and you can see the demo notes. If you like those notes, you can see those, read those. Those are freely available for the students. Then this should be your second step. So if you are preparing for CSIR Net, you must have some book, some notes which you refer to. Do not get distracted. Do not study too many notes, too many books. Just one book or one notes from any one institute will be enough. Do not try to cover a very broad spectra, but try to cover one thing at least very properly, so that in your mind you have a confidence that I have covered this subject. The third part of the step preparation is PYQs. Solve the PYQs of CSIR Net exam, JEST exam, and TIFR exam. Okay? So you have to solve the PYQs of CSIR Net. Now, what I have done actually is do the PYQs after every topic. Do not wait for entire subject to complete. Do the PYQs after every topic. Let's say you cover vector algebra and vector calculus. Cover the PYQs of vector algebra and vector calculus just after you have done with your topic. This will actually give you that, is my topic done or something else is remaining? And what I have done actually is I have divided all the PYQs topic wise, not subject wise, but topic wise. And I have not made the PDF. I have made the tests. So on my website, which is just like NTA's website, whatever you do on NTA testing portal, that same portal is there on my website. You can actually give all the PYQ tests in the test form. So you can actually, let's say you can do the PYQs of vector algebra and vector calculus and in a form of online test. So once you submit the test, you will see your score, how much you scored in that test, and you will see the solutions of all the questions. So that is the one thing which is not available in any coaching institute. I have used the technology to do that. I have hired the people who have specially done this. And this is, I am very proud to say, only available with us. And I have divided the entire syllabus in 55 topics. There are 55 PYQ topics which you can do. And these are not just for CSIR Net. These are also for GATE. These are also for JEST. So there are 55 tests for Net, 55 for GATE, 55 for JEST, and TIFR tests are about to come. So 3 tests are already available and TIFR will also come in next month. So each exam has 55 topic-wise PYQ tests. And once you do this test, you are going to get a confidence that do you know this topic or do you need more practice? If you need more practice, then there are topic-wise quizzes. For each topic, you should practice some questions, which are not easy. Easy questions you have already done in the notes, solved examples, back exercise. Now you need to do questions which are challenging, which are actually opens up your brain, which needs you to think, which builds up your mathematical capabilities, how to solve steps, how to do not make a mistakes, how to solve the integrations in the questions. And I have given a quiz of every topic. So topic wise quiz is there. There are more than 80 quizzes. 80 quizzes which I have put. Each quiz has 20 questions. So after every topic, there is a quiz. Every topic there is a quiz. So let's say there is a topic on quantum mechanics in 1 dimension. There is a quiz after that. And these questions are mixed questions, not just MCQ, but 10 questions are MCQ, 5 are MSQ and 5 NET. So each quiz is going to have 20 questions. So in total, you get 1600 questions in the quiz form. And all these questions are fully solved. And if you want to see those questions, if you want to see how the quizzes look, go to the free Foundation Physics preview. You can see that how I have put up the quizzes, how excellent those questions are. you will actually realize that these kind of questions you have never seen before. Okay, and these are actually of exam which are going to help us in exams. Okay, so this is how you practice it. Then your topic will be done, because now you have done the notes, you have seen the lectures, you have then covered up the PYQs, then you have covered up the topic wise quiz, and all of that in a time manner, because only 2 lectures in a day means you only need 2 hours to watch lectures, next 1 hour to watch the do the notes, and then in 1 hour you can easily do the quiz or PYQs, and you are done with the topic. Every day you can complete 1 topic, or in every 2 days you can complete a topic. So your syllabus will move very fast by studying just 4 hours every day. This is what I am expecting from the students who join my course, or even if you don't join the course, this is the maximum that you need, 4 hours per day, but your timing should be very nice. If you're doing on your own, then you can add 1 or 2 hours, etc., because you may need to search things out as well. So 5 to 6 hours is enough for self-study if you are doing it. If you're joining the course, 4 hours is enough, not more than that is needed, but those 4 hours should be given to me till December. It's not like first week you study for 4 hours, next week you do not study. That is not the case. You have to study till December, 4 hours every day. That is the minimum requirement if you want to qualify CSIR Net, because the syllabus is large. Then if you see, there are so many doubts. So I will recommend you, if you have some teacher with you, your any university teacher or someone who can solve your doubts, go to them on a regular intervals, get your doubts done. If you are preparing for your own, you must have someone who can qualify your doubts, who can solve your doubts. In my batch, what I am doing is every Sunday there is a doubt class, and this doubt class is live. So every batch will have their time. So let's say CSIR Net batch will have a fixed time that on every Sunday we will meet on a 5 p.m. and we will meet till 7 or 7:30 p.m. 2 to 2.5 hours of class will be there. And student can ask me any doubt, whatever they have. And how they can ask me the doubts? They all will be added to the Telegram channel, different Telegram group, where they can put up their doubts throughout the week. So let's say you are studying something and you have a doubt. Just take a screenshot, put it in the your Telegram chat, and on Sunday we will cover 1 by 1 all the questions which have been put up in the chat. There are 2 benefits. One is, it is also possible that even before me, someone else solve your doubt. If this does, because everyone in that group will be preparing the same topic. Because in a week, if I'm giving 10 lectures, everyone is preparing those 10 lectures. So they might know that answer. Or if they don't, I will be giving an answer on Sunday. So I will be taking doubt class every Sunday. So your doubts will get qualified on end of every week. Then in the end of this course, you will get a full length test series. There will be 5 full length tests for CSIR Net. And I will be very honest with you. These tests took me around 10 days to get all the questions, because CSIR Net questions are not, you cannot get these questions very easily. You can get part B questions very easily, but what are the level of questions which part C is asking? Those are very excellent questions. So I have gone through the PhD entrance exams of different states, different countries, and then I bring up the questions which are actually of CSIR Net level. I have put them in my test series. All the test series are completely solved, and all the test series is on a portal which is similar to NTA portal. So it will give you a very good practice. Your silly mistakes will be reduced. Your ability to react. आपको react करना है वहां पर नए questions के ऊपर. How do you react to the new questions? Whenever the tough questions comes, you must have a practice that how do I react to this? So that ability will be improved by doing this test. There are going to be 5 full length tests that will give you a very good practice. Even if you don't take my test, I will recommend you, please take someone's test. At least do some test series, because in CSIR Net, managing the time, skipping the questions, choosing out of the options is very important. So solve the questions, solve the tests which are of the same pattern as CSIR Net. 75 questions and you need to do 55. That kind of pattern should be there. Okay. And then, yeah, I think that is it. that is all about the steps of the preparation. So there are 6 steps. Now I have put the revisions in between. I will be revising the topics in between. So let's say our mathematical is done. You should do the same. Once your mathematical is done, someday you should in between revise it. How do you revise in between? There should be some sort of notes that you should make in between. You should not make a very proper notes while first time, but in between, let's say you want to revise vector algebra. So what you can do is sit down for 2 hours, open up your notebook, and then you see the previous notes, that what I studied last time. Try to recall that, okay, what was the things I studied last time. After you recall, then look at the book or look at the notes, what was given here. Then makes a very quick and short kind of notes. Revise your PYQ again, revise the quizzes which you have given again, and then that will be enough. In between, if you keep on revising, you will feel confident. And other thing is, you will not forget everything by the end of the time. Another thing which I will recommend you is, even if you're just preparing for CSIR Net, please do prepare for just GATE and what is that? Just GATE and TIFR as well. Don't give the exam if you don't want to, don't give it. But at least solve their PYQs and solve the exercises of those questions, of those subjects, because you can just go and see how many TIFR questions are repeated in CSIR Net. You can just see by yourself. Microstates and macrostates questions, 1 year they come in TIFR, next year they are in CSIR Net. Then you come to Lagrangian and Hamiltonian question, 1 year they are in TIFR, other year they are in a net in some other form, but similar concept. So you can actually see how much similarity is there in CSIR Net exam and your net exam, TIFR exam. Same thing happens with GATE. If you see part B of not GATE, JEST. If you see the part B of your CSIR Net and the JEST exam, you will see they are almost same. Similar questions. Quantum mechanics in 3D, same formulas in JEST exam, same formulas in CSIR Net. So if you are doing JEST preparation, TIFR preparation, that will help you. Maybe you can avoid GATE. If you don't want to give GATE, don't give GATE. I don't mind. But JEST and TIFR, very important for CSIR Net. Okay, so these are the 6 steps. And after 4 or 5 months of hard work, I can finally say my course is open. I am starting from 1 July. Anyone who is willing can come and join, because from 1 July, we will be just going up with the preparation. We will not stop then. I am looking for the people who can give me the rank. I need people who can work every day 4 or 5 hours, and in the end, they can say, okay, we got the rank with physics by Aaryan. That is my goal. I need such kind of people who can trust on me. Number one thing is trust. If you don't trust your teacher, there is no benefit. Trust on me, and then they can actually do the work which I am giving on my website and app, and then they are working on that every single day. They are attending each and every doubt class. That is the kind of commitment I need right now. That sort of commitment, if you have, I will welcome you to join the course. I have kept the fees very low. I can guarantee you, if you compare the fees of my and any other institute, you will be surprised. But before that, I want to cover 2 more things, because that was asked to me many times in the questions. Okay, it was asked to me in the Google form that you guys filled. In that what are the tips for the droppers? If I am taking a drop, let's say I am an MSc, I have already passed MSc, and I want to prepare for CSIR Net or let's say GATE or any other exam, what should be my strategy? So your strategy should be simple. Don't think you have so much time. You don't have time. Don't think you are ahead of anyone else. You are not ahead of anyone else. You are behind everyone else, because those all other people have energy. They do not have a doubt on themselves, but you have already given exam 1-2 times. You have not qualified it. You have a negative energy in you. You will have a lack. You will have a less confidence in you. So don't think you are much ahead of them. Think that you are starting your preparation. Think that you need to cover so much. So you don't think you have so much time. Second thing is, try to bring some new excitement. If you will just have no new excitement, you are just feeling reluctant for some preparation. You are not feeling very good about it. You are not excited about the preparation. that okay, I every day you should think today I will wake up and prepare for CSIR Net, because you are taking a drop, right? So might be you don't have any other things to do. So CSIR Net may be the main thing for you. Every day when you wake up, you must have an excitement. Okay, yeah, I need to complete this today. Today I will learn about WKB approximation. Today I will learn about this. That kind of excitement should be there. And maybe before the lecture comes, or maybe before the notes come, you can see on Google or YouTube that okay, just before I take the lecture, I can see that what is WKB approximation, who gave WKB approximation, what is the full form of WKB. These kind of excitements, just the excitements we used to have in class 11, 12. Remember, we used to prepare for board exam. We used to go to school every day. We used to have some sort of excitement that, okay, I will try to answer the questions in class today, or whatever excitement we used to have. As an adults, we lost that excitement for physics. Don't lose that excitement, because now physics is all you have for next 6 months. Then be consistent. Don't get lazy. Being at home makes you very lazy. So be consistent. This is your goal. This is your responsibility, that you get consistent every day. If you want to study for 4 hours, keep a challenge that you will study 8 hours. Don't make a practical approach goals. For you, practical approach is not a way. For any dropper, your approach should not be practical. Why? Because whenever you are taking a drop, the biggest enemy of you is your mind itself. Because you are in a vicious loop where you get lazy very soon. So have a long targets that I will study for 6-7 hours. And don't just study about CSIR Net in that time. Keep your knowledge updated. Study other things. Maybe if you like, study politics. Study something else like physics concept. Watch some sort of lectures, so that your brain gets new stuff as well. And your brain becomes ineffective if it does not get the new stuff. So keep on learn about digital marketing. How the digital marketing is done. You guys must have received WhatsApp messages from me, right? Do you guys receive WhatsApp messages from my team or from me?
Yes.
Yeah. So how do you think I am sending?
Yes,
I am sending WhatsApp message to each individual. Do you think that I will be sending one by one, forwarding everyone?
No, sir.
So I learned digital marketing, that how to send messages to everyone. That kind of things actually give you confidence. Okay, I'm also doing some new things in my life. That is our goal, right? That is what education is making us aware about. Have your own web page. So have some web page where you put every day something about yourself. Okay, or some new things you learned. Have a good LinkedIn page. Your LinkedIn profile should be very good. You must have a very good connections on LinkedIn, and anyone can do that. So this will keep you a little busy on other things as well, and you will feel excitement. You will feel refreshed. You will not look for the bed to sleep. You will look for your computer to do some new things. And last step is socialize. If you're not going to university or college, go to temple, go to gym, go to swimming pool, somewhere you go, so that you find new people every day. Because that is very important for us. Or else make some new online friends. Talk to me if you want. Talk to your batchmates. Talk to other Telegram channel people. So talk to them. Socialize. Talk to people. Don't have that attitude. If he or she does not message me first, I will not message them first. Message people first. Because socialize. The amount of always wish happy birthday to everyone, even if you don't know them. Means not a good friend of them. Whatever birthday comes on your Facebook, wish them a very good or innovative Facebook message, because you have some time with you. Socialize. If you don't have time, then that's a separate issue. Maybe you are doing a job and also preparing for MSc for CSIR Net, then that's a separate issue. But if you have time, you are only doing dropping out, then that are the things that will help. Now to the people who are doing MSc. Sorry for one mistake. Everywhere it is written JAM. It is not JAM. It is CSIR Net. Okay, because I was doing two things at a time. I misspelled JAM everywhere. Wherever I need to write CSIR Net. So what I'm going to tell you for managing MSc, how I managed MSc. Because if you see my MSc record, I managed the group physics by Aaryan. I managed my UPSC geophysics preparation. I managed my placements in IIT. I got placed in IIT. I done so many other things as well in IIT. I learned so many other things as well. And MSc in IIT is hell. It's very busy, extremely busy. And I qualified all the exams with my MSc. So that is my tips for you. How do you do that? Number one, go to class every day. Don't miss classes. The person who missed the classes is the one who is an idiot. Go to class so that class goes according to you. Whenever you have a doubt, ask the doubt in the class, stop the teacher, become Bisharam. If people are laughing at you, let them laugh. But ask so many doubts. People will say, okay, topper, topper. They will start mocking you. Okay, let them say you are a topper. What is the problem of someone saying you topper? Let them say you are a topper. Don't get pressurized. Then ask as many doubts as possible so that you understand each and everything that has been taught in the class. Make good notes and don't bring any work home. Whatever the college work is there, complete it in the college or your university and then come back to your home or to your hostel. That should be the rule. That is a rule I have followed. Once I come back to my hostel or to my home, I have no college work to do. Whatever assignment, whatever project I need to do, I will complete it by 5 p.m. in the college itself. I will come home at 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. I will take a sleep for 2-3 hours. I will take a dinner and then in night I will study. Every day I study 3, 4, 5 hours in the night. That is enough for any competitive exam. That should be the routine. On Sunday, when you don't have to go to college, get your sleep done, eat some good food, whatever you want to watch a movie, watch a movie, attend the doubt class, which I'm going to take. That's it. That is all you want. If you can consistently do this for next 6 months, you can manage MSc, you can manage your competitive exam preparation, nothing much. Students waste most of the time, what I feel is on the exams. So you are very consistently preparing. You are having a good time. You are saying, okay, I am very confident. My work is being done. And then exam comes. Your college exams comes. You forget about everything. You start preparing for those exams. You prepare for those exams for at least 20-30 days. And then all the consistency is gone. Don't do this. If your exams are there, stop your preparation just 1 week before. That's it. If you have exam next week, stop your preparation today, give the exams, and then again begin your preparation. If you don't have exams 1 week after, don't study for exams. I am saying 1 week, but what I used to do personally is 3 days before exam. So I just imagine, I have not studied about my MSc exam, which are going to be very tough. And after 3 days, I have exam and I just start preparing today. That is a kind of daring approach you need. And don't think I have not got good marks in MSc. In MSc, in IIT, my CGPA was 8.8, which is very good CGPA. Above 8.5 in IIT is very good. You can ask anyone. And I have done by preparing just 3 days before exam. And don't think that syllabus of CSIR Net and exams was same. No, it is not same. You just need to open up your brain that what is the capability of your brain. You need to be in stress. Learn to be in stress and perform in that stress. That is the challenge. That is a game. And last step I will say, don't change strategies or jump between the subjects. Nowadays, there are so many distractions. I can tell you there are so many distractions. Not Instagram, not Facebook. But those distractions are free material. Free material. I have free material. I have free material. There are many groups, so many assignments which are free, but useless. They don't have answer key. If some of them has answer key, they don't have solutions. If they don't have solutions, then you don't know. Out of 20 questions, you are able to solve 10. What you will do with other 10? If some assignment does not have solution, why are you solving it? Just tell me, other 10 questions which you don't know, what you are going to do with those 10 questions? You don't have anyone who can tell you that this is a solution of other 10. You don't know the solutions by yourself. What you will do then? You will look up the books, you will look up the Google, it will waste so much time. So nothing is free. it will either cost you money or your time. If you don't think that your time is as valuable as your money, then you will not qualify the exam. Your time is as valuable as your money. So learn that. If something which is coming to you is free and that does not have solutions or a proper approach, always whenever you're starting something free, for example, do this with the 2 days exercise. I said, no, my foundation course is free. So just go and see that if I start this course, can I end this? Whatever quizzes sir is saying is there, does that have solutions? If I take this quiz and in the end, if I'm not able to solve 5 questions, are there solutions available so that I can complete that? Or those 5 questions will remain undone? If I watch this, I start watching this lecture series, can I complete this? So these kind of questions you should ask yourself. That stay away from distractions. If you stick to one part, let's say you join any offline coaching, you go to Delhi, you have joined some offline coaching, stick to them. Many people from CED, physics, these people, students, call me every day, message me every day. Sir, I also want to join your course along with my CED. I say, no, don't join me as well. Join me if you can commit it to me. Don't join because you have some problem there. Try to solve that problem there only. Don't jump from one person to other. Don't jump from one book to other book. Some people study this book, then they study that book, and they don't revise the previous book. These kind of problems are there. Also, the free content which is available these days is very dangerous. People don't understand that. Students don't understand that. But ask yourself, the amount of free material that you have, how much of that you have covered actually? The free lectures which everyone has on Telegram, how many of them you have watched? Answer yourself that if I start watching these lectures today, can I complete it before CSIR Net? If you get the answer yes, within a practical approach, I can do them, then do that. But if no, then why are you starting? What is the purpose? You are just wasting your time. Okay, so be very cautious about that. Decide in the beginning of the preparation that this is what I'm going to study. That's it. Leave everything. Delete Telegram and leave all the groups. You don't need any other free material. That's it. I'm done. Whatever is given to me in the course is enough. I will study that much. If that course is not enough, then you can think of something else. But if the course is enough, just go ahead. Okay. That is the main thing. I never studied anything useless. That is my main approach. I have done that I have qualified all the exams by studying less. No person who can qualify both UPSC Pre's and Geophysics by just preparing for 2 months. I have done that. Why? How I can do that? Why? Because I know how much to study. How to study less. That is the main thing you have to learn. How to study less and relevant. Okay, that is the approaches which I will tell to MSc students that you should follow these things. And all the things I have mentioned, socialize and go to that, forget about it. If you are an MSc student, there is no much need to socialize. Why? Because you don't have time. There is no need to socialize. Keep 1 or 2% with you who you talk to, that's it. Don't unnecessarily socialize with anyone right now for next few months because you don't have time. Once you qualify the exams or anything, then you can come up and then you can become very active on social media and so on. Okay, so if you lose friends, just lose friends. But right now, the main important part is you focus on the preparation. So that is what I wanted to say. And with this, I want to begin the enrollment in my courses. I have launched my new website and new app. Physics by Aaryan is the name of the app. You can download on App Store. www.physicsbyaryan.com is my website. And I am starting my classes from 1 July, but you can join this course anytime. Whenever you join this course, you will get a personalized timetable that this is your timetable. This is how you need to follow my course. After every 30 days, you get a new timetable that from now on, this is your time. Whenever you want to join, you can join. Course is open throughout the year. Whenever you feel like I want to join now, you can join. Okay. My classes will begin from 1 July. Whenever you join, all the content will be available to you. It is best time to join because we are starting new preparation for 1 July. Now I have two courses. One is only CSIR Net. This December, course fees is kept very low, which is only 3,000 rupees. This many features no one is giving at 3,000. I will refund your entire fees if someone is giving you the same quality and the quantity at 3,000. Only purpose is because I know 3,000 is a big number. Maybe these days people don't think that it is a big number. 12,000 is good for coaching, 30,000 is good for coaching, but I know 3,000 is a big number because when I was preparing, I did not had this much money. 3,000, 4,000 was a big number. Now, other course which I have is GATE, NET, JEST, and TIF. If you want to prepare for all the 4 exams, you also get GATE, NET, JEST, and TIF. All 4, that is just 1,000 rupees more, 4,000 rupees. So if you want to join any of the course, you can join the course. Fees is kept very affordable, so you all can afford it. You can take the free demo of the course on my website. Just go to the website or download the app. You can do the free access. You can see the entire schedule as well. That has also been shared in Telegram channel. That on which day which thing will come. And that is my promise. If the schedule is not strictly followed, let's say you say, okay, sir, you promise that we will give you this much and you haven't given us, I will refund your fees. And this video will be recorded and it is being uploaded. You can come to me with this lecture. I will refund your fees that, okay, whatever I promised is not delivered. So that is, you have to trust me. But other thing I will say, if you come to course and don't study, that is not going to help. I really need people who study at this point. If you, I have hired one academic manager. His name is Rajiv. You can see on my website. That person's job is to see that who is doing what. If you are doing your lectures on time, if you are taking the quiz on time, he will be telling me that, okay, this person is taking all the quizzes on time. I will separate you from the normal batch and I will work separately on you. If you are very regular for next 1 month. But if you are not regular, what my team will do is they will send you an email that you are not regular, you are not conducting the lectures on time. What is your reason? If you do not reply to that email, again one email will be sent, again one email will be sent, again one email will be sent until you reply. So don't think that I will be consistent and also I will make you consistent. And who will automatically be consistent? I will separate them. I will make a separate batch of those people who are consistent and I will work with them separately. Because I really need people who can get the rank. That is the main. Because why? Because after this much hard work, if I don't know I can make people qualify the exam, what is the benefit? Last year, almost 16 people got into IIT. I know I can send people to IIT, but now I want to send people to PhDs. Can I send people to PhDs? This year in IISc, I can tell you, in my department, almost 7 of my students went to IISc, not admission. They went there to give interview. And in interview, they ask everyone that from where you came to know about nanotechnology department. Because usually physics people don't know about nanotechnology department. And 7 people gave my name that we came to know about nanotechnology department from Mr. Aaryan Sir, who is a PhD student here. And they called me and they have said that we will like to organize a live session with your students. They called me. So just imagine IISc department, after I have left IISc, has called me and mentioned that we want to conduct a session with the students so that we can tell them about our nanoscience department. And that session is going to be in August or September. I can also share the screenshot. I do not lie. I can share the screenshot where they have messaged me and called me and said the same thing. So I need to send people to the PhDs where I can actually feel that, okay, my students are there. So I am looking for those students. If you are one of them, welcome to the course. Okay. Now I am open for all the questions. Please, let me just, please ask the questions. I am open to questions now.
Okay. So what will be the difference in both the courses of IIT GATE NET JEST and CSIR Net? Because you at beginning you told that you will complete the course till January you will take atomic nuclear after TIFR exam. So
Syllabus wise,
both-
no, yeah, syllabus wise, no difference. All the topics will be covered in both the courses, but the difference I tell you, in IIT NET just TIFR exam, there are 5 full mock tests for all 4 exams. You see, for GATE 5 full test, NET 5, just 5, TIFR 5. And in, sorry, not 4, 3. So for GATE, there are 5 tests, NET, there are 5 tests, and just on TIFR has combined 5 tests. And also for each of the exam, there are PYQs. So 55 PYQ tests are there for each of the exam. 55 for GATE, 55 for NET, 55 for JEST, 55 for TIFR. But in CSIR Net exam, only tests are for CSIR Net and PYQs are only there for CSIR Net. That is a major difference. Also the quizzes, no, quizzes wise it is same because all the topics are there the same. But the main difference is in those 2 components. Also the validity. If you see, your validity will end when your CSIR Net exam is done, but the other validity will remain until your JEST exam is done. That will almost be up to BARC exam. So whenever the JEST results came, in the same time, BARC exam happens. So you can access the course till then. So that is why I didn't make the price difference so much different, only 1,000, because I'm giving some additional features, but the syllabus wise it is same.
and sir, I want to ask one more thing.
Yeah, please.
Sir, what was your marks and at what marks, what rank is there in CSIR Net and what rank is needed for PhD in IASC?
Okay, so I can tell you my mark, but it is going to horrify you. Okay, the reason being my marks was very less, 93, and I got almost 120, 30 rank. Why? Because that year exam was very tough. Okay, but you don't get this much rank in this many marks. This after me, but the net which happened after me, they had like I think on 93 marks they don't even had qualified the exam because the cutoff was I think 100. So it depends upon exam. But let's say you get a 110 marks, you will get a good rank. Now in IASC, if you have anything under 250 rank, which means your marks should be 105 to 108, or let's say 110, then you get a call from IASC. One more benefit which I want to tell you is, even if you don't get a call in the normal PhD from IASC, but if you have CSIR Net just qualified, you can approach professors separately. There are many professors who can hire you directly without the standard procedure of the institute. But this is only possible if you have CSIR Net qualified. This is not possible for institute fellowship. Okay. Does this answer your question?
Yes, sir. Sir,
Okay.
is there PhD for quantum computing
Yes.
in IASC?
Wow. I am very glad you asked this question. I am very happy that you are interested in quantum computing. Usually people ask only about astrophysics. So I know 2 professors who are actually making qubits, you may know, right?
Yes, sir.
So they are making qubits. So yes, there is a PhD in quantum computing.
And so what is the scope in India for quantum computing? Because budget is there for quantum computing, but exactly what scope is there? Should we proceed for, should
Okay,
we
so
think?
I will give you the logic, direct logic.
Okay.
What I have seen. Okay, I will not. I don't know what is there, but it's actually what I've seen. Qualcomm is a company which directly hires from IISc in quantum computing. Now, whenever we talk about quantum computing, it does not mean strictly quantum computing. People who have done PhD in solid state physics, they are hired in the quantum computing companies because they need person who knows physics of the similar sort. Because quantum computing as such is not a subject, it is made up of many subjects. So you do PhD in nanotechnology, you can be hired in a quantum computing company. So you do a PhD in solid state physics, you can get hired in a company of quantum computing. And which company? Qualcomm is a company which is hiring. Then Intel is coming to hire. Then Indian companies, Applied, I don't know it's Indian or not, but it's Applied Materials. If you have heard the name, Applied Materials is hiring. So I have seen these companies hiring, and the work is similar. people from optics and lasers are getting more hired in quantum computing companies than people who have actually done PhD in quantum computing. So anyone in physics background can get hired in quantum. That is a reality. Scope, I will say, if your degree is in experimental, and trust me, if you come to nanotechnology or any applied branch, then your job chances are good. But if you go to very fundamental branches, like for example, pure physics in IIT Kharagpur, chances are less. But in ISERs, if you go in applied branches like nanotechnology or physics, even in ISER Pune, if you go to physics department, very good chances that you will get placed. In nanotechnology department, I can say it's not very good chance, it is guaranteed that you will be placed. Okay.
Sir,
Sir?
my goal,
Yeah. Tell
sir,
me.
my goal is for either doing PhD from IASC or TIFR Mumbai. I just want to prepare.
IISc.
My goal is oriented for there only.
The reason, if you
Uh,
tell me that both institutes, let's compare. Number one, IISc,
Okay.
better culture,
Hmm.
better student culture. TIFR, better, I would say, fees wise better, little bit. Second,
Hmm.
if you want to see other things as well, because you need time pass in your PhD, you cannot work every day all the time, then that is available in IISc. And IISc is going to be the next MIT, I can tell you, because they are already giving so many good results in experiment. Papers wise, if your name is in IISc paper, your world reputation at the world level is much more than if your paper is with some TIFR professor. TIFR never comes up in the name as an institute. They always famous for their professors. Their professors are reputed, but they are not, institute is not reputed in the world. But in IISc, it's separate case. Professors may not be that reputed, but IISc itself is a brand in world in the research field. So if you're in your paper, it is written IISc, that is much more valuable in world reputation.
So because two professors in my college are from TIFR, so I have seen how they think and how they proceed for each problem. So I just get attracted to how they did they solve the problem.
Yeah, that is the same kind of people are also there in IISc. That is not a big difference. Both institutes are academically good. That is what I'm telling you. If you go to TIFR, you will find many good professors. Okay, but they are famous for their professors. Institute is not as such famous. Right?
Yes, sir.
Outside India, who knows TIFR? Less people. I will not say no one, but less people. Right? So that is what I'm trying to say.
Agreed.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, whenever we completed a topic, maybe it takes 2 or 3 days. And then we started the examples, some sorts of easy examples. But whenever we see in the PYQs of NetGet or etc. examination, then they are much higher conceptual. So how we overcome or connect these practice examples and the PYQs also?
That is the problem I tried to solve, man. You see the quizzes, you will not see any single question in that quiz which is easy. Okay, because I have already given the simple questions in examples, right? So now if I'm taking a quiz, that quiz must have difficult questions so that you actually are capable of solving those kind of problems. Okay, so whenever you are doing, either you can do two approach. You can give those quizzes, or second, there are books like YK, Lim and so on. If you can find good questions from those books, then you can practice those questions as well. But the only way to overcome the difficult questions approach is by solving the difficult questions. Because what I have realized is in every difficult questions, you may not need to know the entire concept what they are asking. You should only have that limited space that how you eliminate the things in that question. Because in many nuclear physics questions, in many solid state physics questions, many quantum questions, I realize that all the information they have given in the question, they might not, we don't need that much information. If we can eliminate or we can put a different logics in this question, we can solve this much easy, because net is an MCQ, right?
Yes, sir.
What is an MCQ exam? Think carefully. What is an MCQ exam? MCQ exam is the only exam in this world where they give you both question paper and answer.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
They are giving you question paper. They are giving you answers. Right? This is what happening. Only thing is they are giving you more answers than there are. And you need to see which answer is the correct. So that is a capability that you need to learn. That, okay, by looking at the answers, how can I come to the conclusion that which of them can be correct? How do you play up with the numbers? Or how do you know that, okay, if this question is coming up to this answer, let's say in statistical mechanics question, you see in options there is a temperature. So then it means you don't need to apply microcanonical ensemble. Which ensemble you will apply? Canonical. Why? Because there is a beta in that. Beta is 1 by kt. It means you need to apply that. You will have to start from partition function. But let's say your answer has an entropy in it. However, how much appealing it is looking. Let's say they are asking entropy and you start applying canonical ensemble. You are not going to get an answer. You are going to get an answer only if you apply microcanonical ensemble. So these are the things that you learn from an experienced person. That, okay, yeah.
Yes, sir.
How do I look into the options and then realize that what is the thing I need to apply here? Right? And then you apply that. In many questions, it is written a photon gas. People stop reading the question at the photon gas. It was not the question on photon gas. They were just making up the question. In a photon gas, the dispersion relation is this: find the group velocity. It was just the question of d omega by dk. You only have to differentiate it. But you stop reading the question at photon gas. Right? So why? Because that lack of experience, or you can say lack of problem solving. So that is kind of things you need to learn. Then it will become easy for you to qualify. Anything
Yes,
else?
sir.
Anyone?
Sir, I have another question that
Sure.
since you are from ISC, so what is the scope of scope in the topic of astronomy in the PhD?
Do you want me to give you a lovely answer or a reality? Brutal reality.
Yes, sir. Obviously, reality.
Reality, right? Don't do it. Don't. If you are average, coming from average financial background like me, okay, which I'm assuming you might be.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Obviously.
Then no, it is not obvious, man. But let's say you are coming, and then I will say, job-wise, it's not a very good fit. Can you name me one company who need astronomer, astrophysics knowledge?
No,
Any
sir. I
company?
don't know. I don't know actually.
Any advertisement you see in which you think that, okay, this product might have been made by astrophysics person? No, right? So how will there be jobs? You see computer chips on advertisement every day. Intel 7, i5, i7, they are showing the chips very nicely, right? This is our new processor, right? So you see those advertisements. Behind that, who is there? Person with a PhD in nanotechnology. Person with a PhD in solid state physics. There is astronomy PhD might look good to you. You might enjoy that, but there are not a public demand for that. The public demand is for applied physics branches. Okay, so go for that. Go for that. I will really recommend you to go for. People don't listen to me. I have been saying this from last 1 year. They get offended, but I don't care. If you want to get offended, get offended. But that is a reality. That is what I have observed. I also like looking at the stars, but that is not going to fill up my pocket. And there is only one job left, which is academic positions. And now think all the people who have done PhD in astrophysics want to apply for that position. How many competition will be there? How much competition will be there? Too much. So it is not recommended to go in astronomy. If you like astronomy, study astronomy in between whenever you get a free time.
Okay, sir.
And there is very less chances that you will be able to solve the problem that from where humans have came. What is Big Bang Theory? Okay, so why would to risk that? Okay. Okay. Any other question?
Hello.
Yeah.
Actually, I am a second year MSc student.
Okay.
and I'll be graduating around September.
Okay.
So I'll have like October and November free time after graduation.
Mhm.
With studying for NET and GATE, I wanted to I mean, is there any chance that we can apply for internships in IISc?
Yes, yes. Oh man, 3 of my students last year are already working in internship under IIC. When I was leaving IIC, I recommended my professor, okay, please take these students. And he was a new faculty. He took all 3 girls. They were close to Bangalore, so they went to IIC and they are doing internships. There are so many professors who are taking students as interns. I can just give you
Okay.
5 names and just apply under them. You can get very easily internship. Just go there and work for 3-4 months. You can do it. No problem.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Sir,
Aaryan Sir,
Yeah. Tell me.
sir, I'm
sir,
yet
this
to
schedule
join
will
for
help me
PG.
to
Yeah. Please speak one by one. Yeah.
Okay.
Tell me. Speak. Anyone at least speak.
good evening,
So let
sir.
me see the names. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Tell me. Anyone, please tell me.
Sir, this schedule will help me to handle interview, sir, or I need to give extra effort after the exam to handle the interview.
So what I have tried to put is, okay, you are asking for interview preparation
Yeah.
after exam, right?
Yeah, yes, sir.
I would say no. Why? I have my own reason, and I will give you the knowledge based on which I got into IIC nanotechnology department was just band theory. And we study band theory thoroughly in our net preparation, our GATE preparation. So you can understand. I got into ISERs purely based on the knowledge of basic quantum mechanics. You will be shocked to know that people do not know how does the wave function of an infinite potential well looks like. People don't know that. And they have qualified the exam. I don't know how they have qualified. Maybe something is wrong. But whenever they come to interview, they are not able to solve the problems. Maybe they know, but they're not able to answer at that time. That can be an issue. So what I do I will strictly doing in my course would be, any of my student who get into any of the interview, I will take a free mock interview of that person. First, you will give me a mock interview, then you go for an actual interview. I will specifically tell you that where you are doing a problem, and you will also get a practice to give an interview. Okay, so that is what we can do, but I can guarantee you there is no more knowledge needed. Only thing you need in interview is confidence. That is my feeling. Because in any interview, they have not asked me any difficult question. I have given at least 29 interviews in last 3 years. 29 interviews. You can imagine the number. 29 is a huge number. I have given interviews on almost any place in India. You can name any place I have given interview. Why I was able to give this many interviews? Because I was applying in Corona batch, right? And all the interviews were online. So I gave all the interviews. And that was a good experience for me. And I realized there was not even a single professor who asked me very difficult questions. They were asking basic questions. You only have to answer it with the confidence. You have to answer them. You have to think them that in the right direction. The problem which comes is, it is not in a sequence. You have studied everything in a sequence. Now they will put a question from in between. So if something is asked to you from in between and not in a sequence, are you able to answer or not? That is what they are trying to evaluate. Okay.
Thank you.
But the knowledge wise, same knowledge is needed. Anyone else? Yeah. Any other question left? Yeah, please.
क्या ऐसे कि हम कोर्स स्विच कर लें, जैसे अभी मैं CSIR नेट के लिए कोर्स अडॉप्ट करूं और बाद में गेट टाइफर की सीरीज के लिए अलग से पे करके हम कोर्स ले सकते हैं?
मैं समझा नहीं, आप क्या करना चाहते हैं एग्जैक्टली? पहले आप CSIR नेट का ले लें, ओके ठीक है।
मैं गेट का साथ में प्रिपेयर कर रहा हूं, तो देयर विल बी अ सिलेबस कवरिंग, और लास्ट में हम जैसे 1000 की फीस एडिशनल है, तो उसे बाद में पे करके हम कोर्स स्विच कर सकते हैं।
हाँ,
अगर
मैंने
ऐसा
ऑफर दिया हुआ है, मतलब आप अगर कोर्स नहीं भी लेते तो आप सिर्फ टेस्ट सीरीज ले सकते हो, पर फिर वो आपको इंडिविजुअली टेस्ट सीरीज 1000 की नहीं पड़ेगी, वो आपको ज्यादा महंगी पड़ जाएगी।
या
ठीक है,
नहीं, अगर हम कोर्स में एनरोल होके वो करना चाहते हैं।
देखो क्या है ना, आई कैन डू दिस, बट प्रॉब्लम इसकी मुझे अपनी वेबसाइट पे कुछ लिस्ट करना है ना, तो अगर मैंने
हाँ,
कुछ
एक
लिस्ट कर दिया है, अब लिस्ट कर दिया है, एंड आई कैन टेक नाउ फीस ओनली थ्रू दैट प्लेटफॉर्म।
यस सर।
तो या तो होगा कि मैं 2 मिनट के लिए सिर्फ तुम्हारे लिए फीस कम करूं, फिर तुम फीस पे करो, फिर से फीस बड़ी करो, तो ये सब प्रॉब्लम होगा। सो
ओके।
दिस इज ऑफर ओनली फॉर दोज पीपल कि जो साथ में कोर्स लेते हैं, उनके लिए 4000 है, अदरवाइज टेस्ट सीरीज एंड दैट विल गो एक्सपेंसिव, विल ऑलमोस्ट बी आई थिंक 6500 if you take all things.
ओके सर, ओके।
Yeah, anything else?
Sir.
Yeah,
Sir, I'm yet to join for PG.
you are about to join PhD. Okay.
No, not PhD, for PG.
MSc. Okay, okay. PG. Okay, okay.
So, like, see, how many hours I have to spend on a regular basis if I'm writing for the second time? You know, yearly the exam will be conducted 2 times, right?
No, you are just starting your MSc, right? This is what you mentioned.
Okay, okay.
No, okay. You are doing it. You are just started MSc.
No, I'm about to join. I've just qualified JAM and
You are about to join MSc.
yeah.
And now your question is, how many hours you need to spend every day?
Yeah, especially when I'm trying to get into CSIR Net for the second time. You know, yearly this exam is gonna be conducted 2 times, right? So not in the first time, but to get in the second time.
So to any MSc first year student, my advice always remains, if I am saying 4 hours for everyone else, for you it is 2 hours every day,
Okay.
2 to 3 hours. Why? Explore. MSc first year is for exploring.
Okay.
So if you can qualify exam very easily in next December, or no, sorry, next July, and also by studying 2 hours or 3 hours a day, and then you can also explore about the placements. You must be going to IIT if you have qualified JAM or maybe
No, I don't have such great rank.
Okay, so you must be going to some NIT. You are going, there is a placement cell in that NIT, right? So I always talk to my MSc students, okay, go to the placement cell and ask these 15 questions to them. I will give you the list of those. Just ask those 15 questions and you will get to know about the placement so much better than any other student of your class. That is what I did. I never used to come back to hostel after 5 p.m. I used to go to these placement offices. So first year is for exploration, but with the exploration, you have to study for exam also, because otherwise it will be too late. So my idea will be 2 to 3 hours. That is enough in first year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yeah.
Sir, you have talked all about the physics. Sir, my question is for this general aptitude part A. So how we can manage that?
So there is number one, we will be doing PYQs thoroughly. Okay. And by the end of the course, like say in August something or September something, I will be giving one assignment sheet. Okay. In that sheet, you will get around 500 questions, 400, 500 questions. Just practice that. That's enough. I think you don't need to study any. I scored almost, I think, 23 marks in general aptitude, and the only reason I was able to score that much marks was I did what I did there was I solved only PYQs of net and gate, and I did them, all of them, very nicely. That okay, in this question, this is how we solve this question, how, and I realized that in the exam, similar questions were coming. Let's say in one question, if number of triangles are asked, in other question, number of squares will be asked. So in one question, if the wheel is rotating this distance, in new exam, wheel will be rotating some more distance. So the similar concepts are there in that. You don't need to study too much for that. I think solving 500 questions is enough. Out of 500, I think 300, 400 questions will be only of net only, and 100, 150 questions, etc. you need, and that's it. Done. Your preparation for general aptitude is done.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Sir, any additional one more question, sir?
Yeah, please.
Sir, yes, sir. I have also applied for the BARC scientific officership. So, how we can prepare for that? Basically, it is.
I'm sorry, I was unable to. BARC scientific officer C.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. On
Okay.
MSc basis, sir.
Okay, understand. I got the idea. But exam you're talking about. Okay.
So,
Okay.
I think there is a interview based scrutiny. So, how we can prepare for that?
Okay, so there is one book called NCRT Fingertips.
Okay.
Read NCRT Fingertips, class 12th. There's a book named as NCRT Fingertips, class 12th.
Okay.
That actually summarizes the entire concepts you need to know in a very short time. Second, if you're going for BARC, read Mittal and Verma nuclear physics book very nicely. Okay. If possible, you can watch H.C. Verma Sir nuclear physics course. And third, they are going to ask you many questions from solid state. So get your band theory done, get your thermal properties done, and get your superconductivity done. That's it. NCRT Fingertips. In solid state, 3 topics: thermal properties, band theory, and superconductivity. That's it. And nuclear, Mittal and Verma. That's it. You will get an interview qualified.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Anything else?
हेलो
Yeah.
हाँ सर तो मेरा सेम केस है अभी एमएससी ज्वाइन नहीं किया है तो should I enroll in this batch or for the next June July batch?
It's up to you, man. This is for next June July anyway. Okay. This 2024 course which I'm mentioning, GATE NET just TFR, this is up to next net.
Okay.
Okay, so that is the for next net only, which is in July, right? So this batch will remain available till that time.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Anything else?
Sir, good evening, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, in CSIR Net Exam, total 55 questions we have to attempt, sir. To attempt at least half of the questions, how much subjects we should be good at, sir? Give your rough idea, sir, about that.
6.
Sir?
6 subjects.
Out of 55 questions, to at least attend half of the questions in net exam, how much subjects we should be good at?
5 to 6, that's it. 5 to 6.
Oh, okay, sir.
Yeah. Attempt means I'm assuming that if in one exam, in one subject, 6 questions are covered. Let's say 55 questions are 75 questions are there, right? So from any, if we equally divide everything, then we can't equally divide actually, but from first 6 subjects, if you see, almost 60 questions will be there from first 6 subjects.
Yeah, okay.
From last 3 subjects, 15 questions will be there. So from first 6 subjects, 60 questions. So if you see, if you have 10 questions from each subject and you can do 40% correct, then almost 40 questions you can attempt, right?
Yeah,
and
okay.
if you only prepare 6 subjects, that will be done. You can cover 40 questions.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Yeah. There are actually 10 general knowledge. Okay. What else?
हेलो भैया।
Yeah.
भैया मैं अभी आपसे बात कर रहा था कि मैं 6 महीने पहले कोचिंग ज्वाइन किया था। अभी मैं एमएससी कर रहा हूँ तो वो 4 घंटा पढ़ाते थे, जो कोचिंग था ऑनलाइन में लिया था तो वो 4 घंटा पढ़ाते थे। तो मैं क्लास के साथ उसको नहीं कर पा रहा था। जैसे कि मैं 2 घंटा अटेंड किया और चला गया, उसके बाद 2 घंटा जब मैं कंप्लीट करने के लिए आया तो नोट्स बनाते बनाते तो और ज्यादा टाइम चले गए। तो मैं प्रेशर में आ गया तो छोड़ दिया। अभी मतलब नहीं कर रहा हूँ, इतना अच्छे से प्रिपरेशन नहीं हो रहा। तो आपका लेक्चर देख रहा हूँ, मुझे थोड़ा कंफर्टेबल लग रहा है कि 4 घंटे में कभी भी दे सकता हूँ। जैसे रात को मैं आ रहा हूँ तो 4 घंटे दे सकता हूँ आपको। तो मैं मेरा घर का फाइनेंशियल कंडीशन भी इतना अच्छा नहीं है, तो मेरे को किसी भी मतलब किसी भी हालत से मेरे को निकालना है नेट इस बार अच्छे से, या एडजस्ट हो कुछ भी हो। और अब जो आपका मैंने आईआईएससी वीडियो भी देखा था, वो मेरे को बहुत अच्छा लगा वो कैरियर। तो मुझे आईआईएससी भी जाना है। तो आपका लेक्चर अगर मैं मतलब आप जो कोर्सेज दे रहे हैं अगर मैं उसको अच्छे से फॉलो करूँ और 4 घंटा हर दिन दूं अच्छे से पूरा, तो मेरा कितना % चांस है कि मैं निकाल दूंगा उसको?
देखो, 2 बातें बोलूंगा। पहला,
जी
एक होता है ट्रस्ट, दूसरा होता है डेयर।
जी
ट्रस्ट होता है कि ओके, क्या इस इंसान ने खुद कुछ किया है, क्या इसकी बातों में ऐसा लग रहा है कि इसकी बातें जो है प्रैक्टिकल है, क्या ये जो बोल रहा है वो किया जा सकता है। वहां से आता है ट्रस्ट। मैं बोलूंगा यस देयर इज 100% चांस, उससे ट्रस्ट थोड़ी आएगा। मैं अभी बोल दूंगी ओके माय ज्वाइन माय कोर्स, देयर इज 100% चांस दैट यू विल गेट। क्या उखाड़ लोगे तुम? कुछ नहीं, राइट? दिस इज नॉट अ ट्रस्ट. So you have to build a trust by looking at the things which is available to you. So just go to my profile, listen to my lectures, and then see कि जो पढ़ा रहा है वो समझ आ रहा है. Yes. If the notes he is giving is good, yes. If his approach is practical or not, that you have to check. कि क्या ये जो बोल रहा है is it practical to do in next 6 months? जो इसने शेड्यूल बनाकर दिया है हमें, क्या वो फॉलो हो सकता है या it is just a marketing technique? So if you think that it is practical, then your chances are good. Second is dare. Dare is that कि never ask for guarantees in life. कभी भी गारंटियों की बात कि हाँ अगर मैं ये कर लूं तो मुझे, तुम करो तो सही, रिस्क भी तो लेना पड़ेगा। मैंने जब अपना पीएचडी छोड़ा था तो मुझे नहीं पता था कि कैसे जॉब, कैसा होगा नया जॉब, क्या होगा। मैंने जस्ट छोड़ दिया पीएचडी, and today I'm enjoying my life in that 3 months जो मैंने पीएचडी छोड़ के मेहनत की है, उसी का रिजल्ट है कि आज मैंने ऐप लॉन्च किया। So when you begin in that, and if you think that okay all the signals will be green, then I will start my car, then you will not reach anywhere. So risk you have to take, and other than risk you also have to trust on me. Even I will not be able to make your exam qualify if you don't give me 3-4 hours every day, 2 hours to my lectures and 2 hours to yourself. That is a minimum you need. If you can give this much to me, then I think your chances to qualify net exam through this course is very high. That is what my feeling is. At least this is what I believe in. And second thing which I will say is, if you fail, we both will fail. That is my commitment to every student. If you fail, this will not be your failure. This will be both our failure. But if you pass, if you get a rank, we both will get a rank. And this is how I am looking at it right. कि मेरे बच्चे का अगर रैंक आ रहा है तो मेरा भी रैंक आ रहा है, अगर वो फेल हो रहा है तो आई एम आल्सो फेल. आई एम नॉट लुकिंग एट कि ओके नेक्स्ट 6 मंथ्स इतनी सैलरी आ जाएगी. माय सैलरी इज गुड इवन इफ आई मेक दिस, मतलब मैं पैसे नहीं भी लूं तो इट इज फाइन. माय सैलरी इज गुड इनफ. ठीक है, इसलिए मैंने फीस कम रख पाया हूं. बाकी लोगों का ये फुल टाइम जॉब होता है इसलिए वो फीस कम नहीं रख पाते. मेरी ये फुल टाइम काम नहीं है. आई एम डूइंग टीचिंग इन मॉर्निंग एंड कमिंग बैक एंड डिलीवरिंग द लेक्चर्स इन नाइट. ठीक है, rest is your choice.